Hi, we're Laura and Dan. We've bought a beautiful rustic Portuguese barn and have literally zero knowledge of building and farming, but plan on converting it into a beautiful off-grid homestead. Follow us on our journey. Last night we found a country lane to sleep in as we start our journey south back to the land. It feels so good to be back out on the road again. We're just heading down south towards the Eurotunnel before we make our way across back to Portugal. We're going to be stopping off at a few places. We don't know exactly what we're going to be doing. We're just going to be having a few adventures along the way. But I'm just so happy to be back in the van.
A few minutes later.
Laura, I need a poop. Need to do the poop walk.
I forgot about this. It's pooping in such close proximity. I'll go in the front.
Back to van life realities.
Yep.
Well, the reality hits hard. It'll not be long, Laura, and you'll be back in here. We'll be so comfortable with each other that we'll just be pooping in the same proximity.
Yeah.
Oh, the weather outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful.
So yeah, back to van life realities. Whilst we're in the area, we realised that we're actually close to Jeremy Clarkson's farm shop. If you don't know about it, he has a series on Amazon called Clarkson's Farm, which we've really liked. And I thought it would be cool to just go check it out and see what sort of produce they've got there, and yeah, just thought it'd be a good experience.
The real story is that Jeremy Clarkson gave us a phone call and he said he'd been watching the channel actually, and he'd been seeing what we've been up to and doing. We really need your skills on the land, guys, so well, whatever you can do, if you can come down, you can chip in and help, you'd be more than welcome. So we'll go and see what we can do for Jeremy, help him out. No wonder Jeremy Clarkson gets so much hate. We've literally just come into the town, and the amount of traffic just to get into the farm shop is unbelievable. No wonder he's always having to deal with crap. We thought we had to deal with bureaucracy on the homestead. God help him. Even got pallets.
That was a lovely experience. We didn't go in the farm shop because the queue was just so long and we couldn't really be bothered to wait. But we did go and have some food at the back and looked over the view, which was really beautiful.
Yeah, Jeremy Clarkson unfortunately didn't require our help this time around. He says we're too experienced.
No one will ever know.
Great success. So Laura's just been naughty and she's just said that she'll try the barrier, and we've lifted it and it's actually worked, so I've got to park up for the night. You ready?
We're bad campers. We're naughty campers.
We'll leave it clean.
It's not a bad little spot. It's out in nature, the sun's shining, got the doors open so we can sit in the sun, and it looks like there's some nice walks into the woods over there. So yeah, really happy with the park up tonight.
Nice little park up for the night, and we can do some yoga, we can train here. Not bad. What are you up to, Laura?
I'm practicing me sword fighting skills.
Gonna take out some Spaniards once we get across the border. Some French once we get across the border.
Yeah.
Gate all done?
Yep. It was like we're never there. Back on the road again. That was a really nice park up last night. It had a nice walk just right next to it. What we're going to be doing today is we're going to be heading to Bath, or as they say down here, Bath.
Oh, Bath, darling, we're going to Bath.
So we just parked up at a petrol station and Dan's just braved it and went inside to ask if we can get the key for the water box.
So Laura asked the woman, right? I says, you know how we normally do it? And I said, oh, come, we'll have the key for the water box. She says, oh, don't worry, I'll get you some water. What does that mean? So she's give us about 2 litres of water, if that. Do you think that'll be enough to have a shower with, Laura?
I don't know, I don't think so.
Don't you think I'll wash my bits with that?
I can't believe you even took it off her. I was like, yeah, that's helpful, thanks.
I just grabbed it because I thought I wanted to show you for a laugh.
Oh, that's funny. Dan's found water this time, so good news.
Got the water. Water soap. Sometimes quite hard to find water when you're on the road. First spot, unsuccessful. Second spot, successful. Back on the road now.
We've discovered a town not far from Bath that we thought would pop in and see. Our friends recommended it to us. And so we're just having a wander around. It looks really beautiful.
Is that the biggest trunk you've ever seen, Laura?
That's the biggest redwood tree I've ever seen. It's huge.
Has a thick trunk. Has a super thick trunk, Laura. It's thicker than the grapevines on the land.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to our new off-grid homestead, and this is our car here. We've just bought it for the land. So this is our new property. We have 17 bedrooms and 17 en-suites and a lovely restroom. No more composting for me and Laura on the homestead. And these are the gardens. This is my lion statue. Raw. Fancy a swim in there?
There's fish in there.
Is there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the type of homestead that you get if you pay about $20 million pound in the UK. A little bit different from our homestead, but homestead goals there. That's how the homesteaders living down the south in the UK, in Bath. Daddy's got a Porsche.
It's our new homestead. We then found another park up for the night.
No yodeling today, there's too many people around here for yodeling today. But they were quiet little yodel. Yodel.
Yodel. Hello. What are you making, Chef Dan?
So what I'm making us some nice big huge pasties. So as you can see there, look, floured it all. So inside of here is potato, onions, tomato, and It's looking really good. So now I'm just going to fry it up. On here, we'll have ourselves a big pasty for tonight.
The next day we met up with our friends. The dream team's back convoying together tonight.
It's nice to be back with our two besties again, reminiscing from our times in Portugal. And the two vans, Onyx and Miles, are back together on the road, hurling through the streets of England this time, not Portugal. Portugal should be in the future, but for now it's hurling through the streets of the south.
Later that evening, we got a rude awakening.
I don't think that's correct what you're saying though. And I just
genuinely, if you Google the road traffic acts,
I'm sure it's got to be if a crime's being committed.
No, we can stop any car for whatever reason to do checks that you are the registered keeper, that it's not stolen. It doesn't matter. It's not on suspicion. If I'm requiring
if it's on, by all means you can stay here the night, but like I said, we do patrols of this area.
No, I understand.
It's come to our attention recently. There's just a lot of intel for sort of drugs and prostitution, so I totally get it. I'll pop the blue lights off now. That's why we sounded the horn, just so
they've got a baby in there as well.
Sorry?
They've got a baby in there as well.
Oh, they've got in the other van?
Yeah, I'll be asleep.
We'll pop it off. Thank you.
So last night was a bit eventful. It was about 11 o'clock and there was a big bang at the door and a guy was going, "Police!" And obviously you have to be a bit diligent when you're in a van. It could just be anyone outside pretending to be the police getting you to open the door, and then they've got access to all your personal belongings in the van itself. We didn't do anything, and then they put the sirens on, so we went to the window and started speaking to them. And they said we were in a drugs and prostitution hotspot, even though we were in two big camper vans with a big off-grid setup. They thought we were selling drugs.
Assumptions were that two big camper vans, rigs, came down a back alley to do some van life dogging.
The woman started getting quite aggressive. She then wanted Dan's details to check this van wasn't stolen for some reason. I think they were just bored because it must have been a quiet night for them.
Well, I was trying to press them on the fact that I didn't have to give me details, and as soon as I said that, they didn't really like that. So you've got to press these things because there is laws in place to protect people, and even though I knew we'd done nothing wrong, and obviously we could have just agreed to anything and just let them go on the way, sometimes you have to press them on these matters because sometimes the police like to try and use their powers unlawfully, so you've got to try and press them. So it was eventful anyway.
So yeah, hopefully that's the only bit of drama we'll have to put up with until we get back onto the land, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more drama when we arrive on the land.
So we're just leaving Bath, guys. It was a bit too posh for me and the old Commodore, but we're just on our merry old way now, and we're heading towards Gillingham, and as Laura calls it, Gillingham. But we're gonna go and get a shower and go to the gym.
After having a shower, we needed to top up on some supplies. We've just got our final shop in the UK. We've got a little bit extra than what we normally get, just because we're going to try get through France and Spain as quick as we can to get straight to Portugal. So we've topped up on fuel, we've topped up on LPG.
Yeah.
So
LPG bonus, £15 for LPG, can't beat it, can you?
yeah, and it lasts us like 3 to 4 months, so you can't really complain about that.
So we're going to put all this food away that we've got, go hitting the tunnel next.
We're now heading towards the Eurotunnel. We're in a little bit of a rush because we're sitting in the sun and we lost track of time, and we realised that it says we need to be there about an hour before it departs, and we're pushing it a little bit, but normally when we've got there they're quite flexible, so I think we should be okay. that's it, we're all through passport control now and ready to get on the Eurotunnel. I always find the Eurotunnel less stressful than getting the ferry. The ferry seems much more intense with the checks and everything, but the tunnel's always been quite laid back.
Yeah, definitely. So there's still always a bit of like weirdness when you cross a border. I don't know what it is. It's kind of like they make you feel like a bit like a criminal, and it's just one of them things. You got to just push through it, and there's gold on the other side. So while we wait, me and Laura just fighting over a bag of pistachios on there. Who gets the last one? Who gets to eat the most anyway? Who can get through the quickest? I mean, Laura were just saying before how when we crossed through the Spanish border, they had the sniffer dog, they were checking and everything. We just pulled up and there was like a young kid from the UK, checked the van, he just went, "Gas, you got gas on board?" And I was like, "Yep." He was like, "Is it turned off?" "Yep." And he just went, "Limb free, all finished." Say, "Oh, get on your merry way."
Different kettle of fish, yeah.
Different kettle of fish in the UK, innit? So we're just about to enter the Hunger Game trains. That's what they look like.
District 9's moving to District 12.
District 9.
We're on the train now. It's a cool experience being on a train that goes under the water, because once we start moving you feel the pressure of being underneath the sea, and it's mad that you can just sit on a train in your van for 30 minutes and then be in France. So yeah, feats of the feats of technology, yeah.
And just like that, we're in France. Viva la France! Back to driving on the wrong side of the road. Have to get used to that one so I don't crash.
We're on the main motorway now, only another 18 hours to go. The van's making a really loud squeaking noise, which is just bloody typical.
So I've checked the bearing on the left hand side of the van, and I can't see anything, but it seems to be not squeaking now. So I don't know. So must have been the magic touch of my hand or something. we'll see what it's like. So we made ourselves a little cat friend as we've pulled her for the night. So we're gonna see if it wants some tuna. Come on.
So nervous, isn't he? Bless him. A whole tin. Cats always make good content.
Starving, isn't it? Quite skinny as well, let's see. Well and truly eating all that now. It's obviously starving, isn't it?
So it wasn't the best park up for the night, but we did meet a little friendly cat, which was nice. Sometimes the park ups when you're on the road aren't the most glamorous, but it does the job. We had a good night's sleep and we're refreshed, ready to head further down south today.
As we're just driving through France, me and Laura having a laugh, because as we're driving past we've seen a McDonald's, and you know, like the typical kind of British person when they go on holiday or something and they only know one word, and we're thinking that we're seeing a McDonald's, and imagine just pulling up to the drive-through and going bonjour, and then just going, yeah, bonjour, I'll have some chips and a burger please.
It's so true though.
It is like an
Hola, I'll have a fish and chips and a paella. Gracias.
so much more easier in France to get water. Everywhere you go, you can just get it. Stop off the road. That's what we're doing now. We're just stopping off to get a little bit of water, and we're going to have some food and then carry on again.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Dan. Je m'appelle Laura.
Hola.
Bonjour.
Not a bad park up. It's certainly better than last night. But last night we had a cat, and tonight we've got some like it's just scratching its ass. Shake that ass for me. Shake that ass for me. As I was saying, tonight we've got horses and 2 foals. As you can see, the van's parked up nicely. Très bien. I don't know any French words. Très bien? No, that sounds Spanish.
What are you making tonight, Chef Laura?
Just a bit of everything really, just all the veg that we've got. Some rice and potatoes. Might put some passata and chilies in, just a bit of a mix up. We thought we were going to go through the toll roads, but then when we're seeing the price of some of the toll roads, we're like, we'll just go the more scenic route. So I am enjoying seeing the little French villages because they're so beautiful and they've got so much character.
Everything battened down?
We're all battened down, skylights closed, chopping boards away, ready to go. We always pick the worst times to drive. It was really hot yesterday, so we set our alarms for 6 o'clock this morning thinking that we'll wind. Could have driven in the heat again today, but as soon as our alarm went off, we literally just turned it straight back off, fell asleep for a couple more hours, and now it's quite warm while we're driving, so we can't complain because we did give ourselves the opportunity to get up early and miss the heat, but no, we didn't. We chose sleep.
Summertime, when the living is easy.
It's not going to be easy when we get to Portugal.
So that's what Laura's doing. She says, I'm going to go on the back for a minute, and as I'm sitting, there's loads of people walking around in the supermarket as we've pulled up for a little stop, rest, and she's playing fart sounds, and everyone's looking at us thinking, like, what the hell's going on in that van there? Someone's got problems.
The phone always connects to the Bluetooth, so when I started going on my phone I could hear it playing through here, and I just thought, how can I play a funny prank on Dan? So that was the first thing that came to my head anyway. Yes, I'm very mature. So we've parked the van up. We're driving by the south of France now, we're by the coast, and it's such a beautiful hot day. We just thought we couldn't not try to take a dip in the water, so we're heading towards the beach now.
We haven't brought our swimming cozies, have we? So we're going to well, I'm going in my boxers, Laura said just going in naked.
It is Europe after all. I thoroughly enjoyed that. Normally when we came through last time it was about 37 degrees and we just powered through, even though we saw that this area of France was really beautiful. But this time Dan had the idea to stop off and dip in the sea, and I'm feeling much better for it.
You ready to rock?
I'm ready to roll. Gonna get this
The
up.
next town away, which is España. So we're about 30 minutes away now from España. We also need to get some fuel, so we're going to have to sure up on our language skills. So not long now, and we'll be in España, and then we'll see how far we can get, and we're hoping that we can be in Portugal by tomorrow.
See. We've crossed into España. One country closer to being back in Portugal.
We're a little switch around. Laura's on the driving duties now.
Captain seat.
This is where the real Formula 1 driving starts coming out.
Yeah.
This is where the Spaniards are going to have to get out of the way.
Clear the roads.
Clear the roads. Driving through a little Spanish town, there's just no one around. The streets feels like a ghost town. We've never had that type of service before, have we, Laura? A free parker for the night. We've got our own private little access. So last night when we said we're going to have a shower and we're really looking forward to it, well, it's a part of van life. You don't get what you want sometimes, and last night we couldn't get a shower because our water pump has gone. So I tried switching over the terminals last night and tried testing a few of the different stuff. I had the water pump completely out, separated. I was making sure all the points inside were turning, but unfortunately, no comprendo.
It was then time to do the final stretch back to the homestead.
So Laura's trying to manipulate me into driving because she's scared.
I just don't like driving that much. Now that I've got a husband who does most of the driving, I just feel like I can be a passenger princess and not do the driving. So please, will you please do the driving?
So Laura has seduced or coerced me into driving again.
I will be taking over soon.
So
In 2 hours and 26 minutes I'll take over.
yeah, when we're there.
Yeah, I'll drive us on. I'll drive. You open the gate of the land, and I'll drive up the land, and then we'll share the driving.
When we're on the land.
Share the driving.
When we're on the land. Yeah, so that guy there doesn't subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, he didn't look too.
Laura's now taking the reins again.
And happily. I'll do it kicking and screaming.
Closer now, and the roads are absolutely dead on.
And just like that, we're in Portugal. Woo woo!
As we're just driving through this tunnel, me and Laura were just saying that we're reminiscent of the time when we had to go to the wood mill. That was quite far away from the land, and we had to get the wood to clad the outside of the outhouse, and how the wood with the full van was just completely caked all the way through. And it's a different story now. The van's neat and tidy, and we've got our home in the back.
Yeah, we'll be doing that again. We'll never ever do that again. We'll strip the van out and put wood through it.
Yeah, definitely.
It's too nice now.
I was finding sawdust in my underpants drawers. Laura was finding her knickers drawers for weeks afterwards. We're still finding stuff in there now. And I'm not talking about the sawdust, especially in my underpants drawer. But yeah, I remember coming along this road, nice views, came along here, beautiful views all the way along. The van was so heavy, it felt like it was going to snap in two. First back to working on the land already. We're clearing road clearance now. Swapping around.
Yeah, I don't want to drive up the track.
Yeah, the track. Gonna see the track's gnarly. It's very dry here now, so I'm sure we'll be getting the van stuck this time. Fingers crossed anyway. But it looks quite solid and dry since we repaired it when we left. So will not be too bad. We'll see how it goes anyway. As I'm fighting through the leaves to get back in the van. It's all it's still like a little bit wet on the floor.
I thought it might be because it has been raining.
We haven't filled it in, and it's still been having a lot of rain, haven't there?
Do you think it's going to be too boggy to drive on?
I think it should be alright. Oh, hopefully, fingers crossed. But well, everything's well overgrown around here. It needs a right trim through, doesn't it, on the drive.
The land's super overgrown. We've had a lot of rain and a lot of sunshine here, so everything's just shot right back up.
Jesus. Look at that, man. It's like when we first arrived.
It's like a jungle, isn't it?
It's literally like when we first arrived. It's so overgrown, isn't it?
So the land is
A mess.
a mess, an absolute complete mess. All the plants have come through the top and everything. Oh my god, we've got some work ahead of us, haven't we?
We've got some work, like it's like literally like halfway up the sides of the van. I think the only thing we can see on the land is the truck.
Yeah, at least the truck looks okay. Looks a completely different scene to how we left it. Are you ready to see the rest of the damage? At least the pomegranate tree looks nice, got some flowers on it.
Got some work on that. Can't even open the gate.
Oh, bloody hell.
Home sweet home. Oh, it feels like we're just back at square one.
It's literally just exactly how it was a year ago when we first came here. It's like all that way cutting the grass and stuff, it just, obviously because we're gone for so long, it just goes back to being a jungle again. It's grown to actually taller than me.
In 3 months.
In 3 months. Jesus Christ. We've got some work ahead of us. I'm not going to lie, it was quite demoralising to see the land back to this. I know we can sort it out, but it would be much easier if we could stay here to stay on top of it.
So what's your assessment then, Laura?
I think we've got a lot of work to do just to get this cut back down. Then we can start with
Actually doing our real projects that we want to do this time.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a fair few days to get all this trimmed and back to looking somewhat reasonable. Also for the fire risk as well, we need to get it all cut down. That's a priority. And then other things we've got planned.
Yeah, so lots of fun to do to start. I definitely didn't expect it to be this long, did you, when I first came in?
No, it's much longer than how it was last summer, even though it was abandoned for quite some time.
They have had there's been a lot of sun and a lot of rain in Portugal, so it's obviously made everything shut up, you know. But anyway, we've got a lot of work to do, so join us in the next one. Turn this land hopefully back into a semi-homestead.
Yeah, something along those lines.
Get it back to where we can anyway. There's a lot, we'll see how it unfolds anyway.
Yeah. Hello. Yes, it's the Origin Homestead. We'll be back on the land with a new video next week at 6:30 p.m. Bye.